Confidence is a weapon. In this same style next, there is a reason the world bows to the confident man, even when he has nothing to offer. Because confidence is not a trait, it is a weapon. And in the war for power, those who know how to wield it win, while the hesitant, the uncertain, the too thoughtful are quietly erased from history. People don't follow competence, they follow certainty. The man who speaks with confidence, even when he is wrong, will almost always defeat the man who hesitates, even when he is right. Understand what that means. It means you can be less qualified, less intelligent, less skilled, but if you carry yourself with ruthless self-belief, the crowd will follow you. And the frightening part? The crowd will defend you. They will justify your mistakes. They will rewrite the story to protect their belief in your superiority. Because once someone accepts that you are strong, they will fight to preserve that illusion for their own psychological stability. Confidence is a kind of hypnosis. When it is absolute, it overrides logic. That is why so many great deceivers rise to power. That is why those who have nothing but ego often lead, while the gifted serve in silence. You've seen it. The overconfident fool who walks into every room like he owns it. He gets the attention, he gets the deal, he gets the respect you earned but never claimed. And you wonder why. You wonder why you keep losing to weaker men. It's because they don't wait to be validated. They validate themselves, and everyone else adapts to the illusion. Confidence should be based on, it must be grounded in reality, that you'll act confident after you've earned the right. But that's not how power works. Power does not reward those who wait. It rewards those who assume. When you hesitate, people don't think you're cautious. They think you're weak. When you doubt yourself, people don't admire your humility. They sense you are prey. And when you defer, apologize, or shrink yourself to avoid offense, they won't respect your courtesy. They'll test your boundaries until there is nothing left of you. Confidence is a signal. It says, I am dominant. I do not fear consequences. I belong above you. And that signal, when broadcast with enough conviction, triggers submission in those who receive it. The human animal is wired to submit to strength, not actual strength, but the appearance of it. And nothing appears stronger than unshakable confidence. You must start to see confidence the way a general sees a sword. It is not decorative. It is not ornamental. It is a tactical tool for conquest. Without it, you lose battles before they begin. With it, you win battles you had no business fighting. And no, confidence is not about being loud. It's about presence. It's not about arrogance. It's about certainty. It's about walking into a situation already convinced of the outcome and making others believe it too. When you speak, speak like a man whose word is law. When you move as if the floor itself owes you tribute. When you make eye contact, never look away first. These are not games. These are rituals of psychological warfare. Because every encounter is a negotiation of status, and if you don't assert your position, someone else will assert it for you, and you will not like where they place you. Let others waste time proving themselves. You act as if you have nothing to prove, because you don't, not if you carry yourself correctly. The illusion will do the heavy lifting. The posture will sell the image, and the image will become the truth. The battlefield is not fair, but it is predictable. People want to follow someone who seems to know where he's going. They want to be near certainty. They want to feel secure in someone else's belief. And if no one else is offering that certainty, you must. Even if you're unsure, even if you're scared, even if you're improvising every single moment, you do not show that. You never show that. Because the moment you do, the spell is broken and the wolves begin to circle. Let me give you a secret most men never learn. The world doesn't know the truth about you. And what's worse, it doesn't care. It knows what you show it. It believes what you repeat. It accepts what you insist upon until it becomes law.
Reputation is not born from fact. It is born from repetition, from performance, from the relentless discipline of presenting a version of yourself so consistently that others have no choice but to believe it. If you don't tell the world who you are, someone else will. And I promise you, they will define you to suit their story, not yours. This is the game every powerful man plays. He crafts a story. He controls the image. He tells the world who he is before the world decides for itself. And once that image is set, it's nearly impossible to undo. Because most people are mentally lazy. They don't investigate, they don't analyze, they assume. And so the world you move through, this society, these networks, these circles of power, they're not evaluating your essence. They are responding to your branding. You may be disciplined, but if you don't show it, you are weak. You may be intelligent, but if you don't present it, you are ignored. You may have potential, but if you do not command attention, someone else's mediocrity will outshine your genius. Your value is not what you carry internally. It is what you signal. That signal must be intentional, ruthless when necessary, quiet when it serves you better, but never left to chance. Think of every powerful man you admire. What do you truly know about him? Not much. What you admire is the illusion, the carefully maintained narrative, the perception. He told the world, I am a visionary, and so he became one. He told the world, I am inevitable, and so he was. He told the world, I am untouchable, and whether he was or not, no one dared to test it. This is not deception, it's design. You do not have to lie, but you do have to edit. Edit the weaknesses in yourself that serve no strategic value. You have to amplify the traits that command respect. And you must repeat your image until it sinks into the minds of everyone who meets you. Never give the world the full picture. Give them the version that secures your position. The politician smiles. The general stands tall. The king never flinches. It is theater, but theater backed by intent. And that theater makes laws, moves armies, and shapes history. You must learn to craft your myth. You must build a character so clear, so sharp, so unmistakably dominant that others can form around you. And you must never betray the myth, because if you do, they remember your weakness forever. Understand this. People do not follow the man who figures things out. They follow the man who already acts like he knows. They do not serve the man who doubts himself, even if that doubt is wise. They serve the man who speaks with conviction, even if he's wrong. And they do not fear the man who shows vulnerability too soon. They fear the man who reveals nothing and lets others imagine what he's capable of. That is power. Letting others fill in the blanks with fear or awe or ambition, while you say very little. But here's the trap. Most men try to earn recognition before declaring themselves. They wait for evidence, for confirmation, for permission. But power does not recognize humility. It rewards those who claim their space before anyone offers it. You don't wait to be seen as the best. You tell the world you are. You move like you are. You train your body, your tone, your energy to say it before your words do. And when people begin to repeat it, when they say, he's sharp, he's different, he's a leader, they are no longer describing you. They are repeating what you taught them to believe. This is the cruel reality. You are not fighting to be your best self. You are fighting to be perceived as the best version of yourself. And those who understand this game early dominate, because the world is not waiting for the truth. It is waiting for certainty. And certainty repeated enough times becomes history. There is one law above all others, one force so subtle, so silent, and yet so absolute that it shapes the lives of kings and beggars alike. Assumption. Not luck, not skill, not even intelligence. Assumption. The man who assumes he is powerful begins to act as if he is. The man who assumes he is irrelevant begins to fade. And here's the brutal truth. The world will treat you exactly the way you believe it should. Because you do not become what is true. You become what you accept. Every action you take, how you walk, how you speak, how you engage, radiates from a core assumption. And that assumption writes your destiny. The man who assumes he is beneath others enters every room asking for permission to exist. He looks down. He apologizes for taking up space. He speaks carefully so as not to offend. And what does the world see? They see someone who should be overlooked. They mirror his own beliefs, not because it is true, but because he broadcasts it.
His posture tells them, I am not a threat. His silence tells them, you are above me. His doubt becomes a signal, and the world believes him. And so he is trampled, not because others are cruel, but because he allowed it through his own assumption. But then there is another kind of man. He assumes he is the most dangerous thing in the room. He assumes his ideas matter. He assumes others are drawn to his presence. And from that assumption, he moves differently. He speaks with command. He looks people in the eye. He takes space without hesitation. And here's the terrifying part. People begin to treat him accordingly. Because once again, the world does not investigate you. It reflects you. And assumption is the script it reads from. Why do you think some men rise even when they offer nothing of substance? Why do you think people chase leaders who lack experience, skill, or wisdom? Because confidence is not drawn from evidence, it is drawn from belief. And belief, when repeated enough, becomes reality, both internally and externally. You must ask yourself right now, what assumptions are you carrying? Do you assume people are not interested in what you have to say? Do you assume you are not worthy of commanding attention? Do you assume you must wait your turn, earn the right, stay in your place? These thoughts do not sit quietly in the background. They lead you, they define you, they shackle you, and worst of all, they are self-fulfilling. The man who assumes he will lose often does, because he plays not to win, but to avoid failure. But the man who assumes victory before the game begins, he moves without hesitation. He takes risks others avoid. He speaks when others stay quiet. And slowly, inevitably, the world begins to accept his assumption as fact. You don't need permission to act powerful. You act powerful, and the permission follows. You don't wait for people to recognize your worth. You behave as if your worth is already understood. And the key is not arrogance, it is conviction. Conviction in your right to be heard, conviction in your presence, conviction in your destiny. Regardless of where you are today, this is the difference between the ruler and the ruled. The ruler doesn't wait for evidence. He decides who he is, and the world responds. Your identity is not waiting to be discovered. It is waiting to be declared. Every time you walk into a room, every time you speak, every time you hesitate or stand tall, you are sending a message, and that message comes directly from your assumptions. So the question becomes, what are you assuming right now? That people don't respect you? That success is for others? That you're not ready? Then you're right, because you've already begun to act it out. But if you assume you are the best, if you assume you are destined to lead, if you assume that power belongs to you, not later, but now, then something begins to shift. Your voice deepens, your posture hardens, your eyes stop seeking approval, and people feel it. Not because they know your story, but because they feel your certainty. And in a world full of uncertainty, certainty becomes magnetic, dominant, unstoppable. You do not become powerful by accident. You become powerful by believing it long before anyone else does. And that belief, when worn like armor, makes you untouchable. You wanted to know why the world ignores you. Why do people overlook you? Why power seems to slip through your fingers even when you work hard, follow the rules, and show kindness. But the truth is cruel. The world does not obey effort. It obeys presence. It obeys certainty. It obeys belief, backed by force. And now you understand. Act as if you are the best, not because you need to prove it, but because no one will believe it until you do. Carry yourself as if no one is better than you, not to belittle others, but to command the respect you've always deserved. Destroy the disease of self-doubt. Assume your power. Wear your confidence like a crown, and move like a man who knows the game belongs to him. Because once you stop asking for permission, once you stop apologizing for existing, once you stop waiting to become enough, that's when the world begins to kneel. Not because you demanded it, but because you embodied it. Power is not granted, it is assumed, and those who dare to assume it rule. So I'll ask you once and only once, who are you going to be the moment this video ends? The version of you that waits, hopes, hesitates, or the version that acts as if he already is the best because he knows there's no one better? The answer decides everything.